up, my babies, and welcome back to my channel. Is that how I say my intro? I don't think so. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to episode 8 of Tommy's Teas. First and foremost, I want to apologize for not posting last Thursday. I know you guys were expecting it. I didn't give any announcement. It was just a lot going on. It's going to be a lot going on for the rest of the upcoming weeks, but I'm going to try to get my content out. I don't know how I'm about to get it done, but I'm going to get it done. Y'all know I'll make a way when it ain't one. Okay. I don't want to chit chat for too long. I just want to put it out there that I do apologize for not posting. But if you haven't watched my regular video on Sunday, go tune into that because it was litty. What video was that? It was a really long video, so enjoy it and welcome back to Tommy's Teas. Y'all already know what to do. Toast up. I don't have my tea. I don't have my face mask today. Kind of all over the place. Kind of don't have no face mask. You know, get some more, but that's for next week's video. So you guys know that when I'm doing these girl talks, I always try to incorporate y'all. I will post something on my Instagram just to get you guys' feedback on content that I know you guys would like to see. So a period talk was highly requested, so that's what we're going to be covering today. Today's video will be about everything you need to know as far as your menstrual cycle, your period, that time of the month, your lady friend, whatever you want to call her when she comes. That's what we'll be covering today. Alright, so let's first talk about what an actual cycle is. At around the age of, like, I want to say 12 is when you should or you would get your period, but you know everyone is different. I got mine when I believe I was 12 or 13. What happens when a girl is going through her cycle? Her uterus is shedding because she is now able to create life into the world. What that means is she's able to have babies now. And I don't want to scare you guys, but once you have your period, you are now able to have a baby. That's not saying go out here and go make a baby, but that is letting you know that you are now able to do so. Unless you know you have some underlying health condition, but that's besides the point. I remember when I started my cycle, I was at home. Thank you, Jesus. I was at home, but I was not at home. Let me hear the whole story. When I first noticed that my period was starting, I was at home, you know. So I was using the bathroom and I looked in my underwear and I saw like stuff. But like, I'm young, I didn't really know anything. I'm like, did I just poop on myself? Like, that's really what I said. I said, did I just poop on myself? In reality, it was like blood. But I didn't know that. So I was like, well, I don't know how this happened, but okay. Took them off, took a shower. I threw those undergarments in the trash. Next day, the same thing. I'm like, bro, why do I keep pooping on myself? And at this time, it did not look like blood. For those who have already started their cycle, you know that like once the blood is kind of old, it starts to turn like a brownish, dark reddish look. And that's how it looked. It was like brown. It looked like I pooped on myself. That was the second day. Then the third final day is when I finally realized it. I was at the store with my mom and I had felt something like, you know, come out. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Once we got back home from the store, I went to the bathroom, checked myself out, and I was like, and that's when it was actually like that red. I was like, wow. And I called my mom and I was like, Mommy. And then she was like, what? And I said, I'm on my period. And she was like, and she's like, well, get a pad. She gave me a pad. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I really was shook. That's my little story time on how I found out I was on my period and when I first got mine. If you're comfortable with sharing yours, let me know in the comments, like if you were at home or if you were out in public when it started. I also probably look crazy, y'all. I know. It's a lot going on. Glow up coming soon. Stay tuned for that. I used to think that a period was really nasty, and like when I would go to school to change my pad, I would be really afraid to like open my pad up in public or like show my pads. Well, you know, not open my pad up in public, but you know, like when you're in a stall and someone else is there, I used to flush the toilet and try to open my pad at the same time so nobody would hear it, to know that I'm on my period. I don't know why, but I guess it's just like when you're young, it's a phase you go through, because I've heard multiple people say that happened to them before, but it's completely normal. And I salute those who change their pad in public, because that means I know you're not disgusting. As I got older, I no longer care. If I need a pad, I'm going to go to the store and get a pad. I used to be embarrassed to go to the store to get pads, especially when it was men cashiers. We're like, oh my god. The pads that I have, they're like really big, and they come in like this big old wrap or whatever, and I put them on a CVS countertop, and I was like, yeah, these for my mom. He was like, oh, okay. Lying, I knew they were for me, but like I'm saying, as you get older, you start to realize that it's a normal thing. At 12, it's normal as well, but you know, you're a young girl, you still living your life, not caring about no period. Once you get older, you like, this is normal. My body should be doing this, because if not, there is something going on with the inside of me, and we need to go, yeah, because we don't got time for that. All right. Some girls' periods can be irregular, and by irregular I mean it'll come 1 month and then it'll come 4 months after that. So let's talk about the different type of sanitary needs, such as a pad, a menstrual cup, and tampons. A pad is basically what it sounds like. It's like a napkin, but it's not a napkin, you know, but that's the best way that I can describe it. It's a napkin, and it unfolds into like 2 parts. It's a front part and it's a back part, and then it's the 2 sides that you can open up. Those are called pads with wings. Some people don't prefer those, so you don't even open up the side. It's just the front and the back, and you just place it in the middle of your undergarments, and you put it on and go about your day. A tampon is like a skinny version of the pad. Like the pad material is inside the tampon, and when you stick it up inside of your lady parts is when it like opens up. I never use a tampon, so I don't have any experience with it. I have friends who use them. I've seen the stories about them. I honestly wanted to transition from pads to tampons, but in the last sanitary need, it's called a menstrual cup. What a menstrual cup is, it's something like a cup. What it sounds like is a cup, and I believe you like pinch it, and then you just stick it up there the same way you do a tampon, and it catches everything. I don't really know too much background about the menstrual cup, so for those who do use it, provide us girls with some feedback or some tips for those who may be interested. With your tampon, you're supposed to change your tampon every 4 to 8 hours, and with a pad, it's every 2 to 4. I personally prefer pads, and that's because pads allow you to flow properly. It's able to catch anything that's coming out, versus a tampon, which can cause blockage. So it's something called toxic shock syndrome, which is, I guess, when the tampon causes like an infection in the body, which is why I'm not even getting ready to try it. I'm not knocking anyone who uses tampons. Like I said, everybody is different, so if they work for you, you keep doing what's best for you. But I personally don't recommend it, just because it can cause a serious infection. It's not allowing you to flow properly. Yeah, I just feel like it's not the proper way that your body should be able to clean itself out, because again, it's blocking your body from doing that, versus the pad is nothing actually inside of you. Your body is just taking its course. I actually did want to transition from pads to tampons, but I didn't, just because of doing my research and getting people's feedback on them. And what made me want to transition is because like the pads that I use, they're always, and they're really big, because my flow can be heavy at times. So that's what I've been using ever since I turned 12. I've never used anything else. It's always those big purple ones, because I feel the most protected with them. But you guys definitely gave me some good recommendations on the pads, so I'm definitely going to go check those out and let you all know how I like them. The pads that I'm currently using, there was a time where they gave me like a rash, like a baby gets a diaper rash. That's what it felt like on my ass crack. So it's a little bit TMI, but like, you know, I'm being realistic here, because someone else may be going through what I went through and don't know what's going on. What was happening was that I believe the pad was rubbing against my skin, because there was no fluid in the back of me in a way, because everything was falling forward or to the middle of the pad. And those pads are for people who have heavy flow, which can go forward and it can go backwards. So at that time, I don't think my fluid was flowing to the back of me, which is why it was rubbing up against my ass, which caused the rash to come, and it hurt so bad. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this. Like, I need to switch to a tampon. I asked some of my friends, and it was like, I use tampons, and then someone was like, don't use tampons. And I was like, well, I ain't gonna use them. I'm just not gonna do it. And I don't think I can stick anything inside. I feel like using a tampon is a huge step because you literally have to place something inside of you, and that is very, very hard for someone who's never done it before, never had anything, you know, up there. So I was just like, I'm not even going to attempt it because I'm going to have a panic attack, and I don't need that. So let's move on to how you properly care for yourself on your period, like washing, cleaning, all that good stuff. I recommend, if you're on your cycle, to wash 2 times a day, in the morning and in the night, because when you wake up in the morning, y'all know that period flow be heavy. Before you leave out the house and go do what you need to do, I feel like you need to rinse all of that stuff off that came while you were sleeping. So just make sure you take a shower in the morning so you can prevent yourself from having an accident, because when you have too much blood on your pad, that's when, you know, accidents start to occur because you left it on for too long, and it also creates odor. And if you're like, well, of course I'm not going to use the same pad that I just slept on, I'm going to put a new one on, and that's completely fine too, but you're not going to be properly cleaned. You're still going to have like some blood residue like in the creases of legs. That's the best way I can describe it. You're still going to have like some blood residue in the creases, like dried up, even if you can't see it. So if you're not using anything like a washcloth or a wipe and you're just using dry tissue, that is not going to properly clean you. Something needs to be wet on there to remove that residue. And once you come back from doing what you need to do at nighttime, I'm not saying if you go into the store in the morning and then you come home at 3 o'clock, get in the shower. No, I'm saying when you wake up in the morning, before you do what you do, take a shower. If you go to the store and you come back home, okay, you can chill a little bit, use the bathroom, change out your pad, wipe yourself really, really good with a wipe, continue doing your stuff, and then at nighttime, when it's time to go to bed, take a shower so you have a freshly cleaned body. It may sound like a lot, but it's really not. Hygiene is very, very important, and some girls do not know how to properly take care of themselves when they're on their period. If you're one of them girls and you don't know what to do, I definitely recommend you to start with taking a shower twice a day. It's going to help you a lot. But just because you're in the shower doesn't mean you won't have an odor unless you're not properly cleaning yourself well. So make sure you take your time in the shower when you're on your cycle, because we all know when you're in the shower, baby, all you got is gravity and time. So you need to hurry up, but also get a really, really good clean. When I'm on my cycle in the shower, it takes me longer because I'm trying to make sure everything is good down there. I go over myself a couple of times, check inside to make sure nothing is coming out at the moment, and then that's when I'll get out. I want to put this like in a way that it doesn't seem like too TMI. You guys know when you're wiping yourself, when you wipe and you see fluid on your tissue, that's what I do in the shower. I wipe myself in the shower to see if I see any fluid, and if I do, I keep washing until I don't see any fluid at the moment, and that's when I get out. Because also when you're in like water puts pressure on it, it's going against the fluid in your uterus, so it stops for a minute, but it's not really gone, which is why I take my time. I make sure I'm watching everything to make sure when I get out, I'm on perfect timing, because what I don't want is to get out the shower, dry myself off, and then there's blood on my towel. I also personally recommend you guys to use 2 kinds of washcloths. One just for that area, and then one for your body. I just feel like if you're using a washcloth to wipe your butt and your lady parts, and then you take it, you wash it off, and then put it on your body, it's kind of nasty. So I just prefer to use 2 washcloths, one for my body and one for my butt and my uterus, and then I'm good. Also, just because there's blood down there does not mean you need to wash it with soap. We still team no soap. No soap ever. I don't care what it is. No soap, no soap, no soap. If you want to use soap on the outside, completely fine. Get them cracks real good too. If you want to use soap right there, you want to use soap on the top, the sides, cool. Just do not put soap in there. Especially if you're using a tampon, you already got that up there. Oh, you are just waiting for an infection to happen. and it's not gonna be pretty. Dressing on your period is really key, and this is why a lot of people have leakages and they have accidents in public. First and foremost, do not wear white on your cycle. White is already easily stained, and you do not want red on the back of your pants or even the front, because that's when everyone's going to know what it is. Versus if you have on like some black pants and you have a little accident, black and the red will kind of blend in together, so no one will be able to really tell. But if you have on white, it's just like you want the whole world to see what's going on. On a free day, take the time and go through your undergarments and figure out which pair you want to be your period panties. A period usually lasts from like 3 to 7 days, so pick out at least 7 different kinds that you will want to put on during those time of the months. You don't wear them any other time but the time that you're on your period, which means you don't care about them getting dirty, you don't care about them being dingy or really washed, all that stuff. If I have an accident, I will throw those undergarments out, especially if they're already dingy. But you don't gotta do that. It's completely up to you, and I will talk about that in a few. But definitely have some undergarments that you don't really care about. If you got some cute little underwear, don't wear them on your cycle because they're not gonna be cute forever. And period panties can be underwear from Walmart, Target. They can be some old Victoria's Secret ones. It doesn't really matter. It's completely up to your preference on what you don't really care about. My period panties are the ones from Pink, and they are usually the briefs because it's tight and it holds everything together, versus regular, like, I don't know what they're called. Also, try to avoid really tight clothing such as jeans, leggings, like, you know, tight clothes. So growing up, I felt like I needed to be very secure. So I would wear 2 pair of underwears, some cheer shorts, and some really tight jeans. And all of that pressure on my stomach, it wasn't good. And it caused me to cramp a lot more versus me having on loose clothes. And I'm able to, you know, relax for real. Putting tightness on the pressure of everything will cause you to actually bleed more because it's pushing up against it versus everything just flowing naturally. I definitely recommend you wear like some sweatpants, or if you have some leggings that are not really tight, I just prefer you wear sweatpants or some jeans that are not super tight. I know y'all have some jeans that fit you but they're not too tight. I'm just talking about if your pants are like, if the waist is snatched in the jeans, don't wear them during your cycle. I still do recommend you wearing 2 things of underwear just in case, but don't make them tight. Simple. I don't wear 2 pair of underwear anymore because I don't bleed as heavily as I used to. But when I did, I would wear my briefs and I would wear like the regular underwear. I will put the regular underwear on the bottom and I'll put the briefs on top, just because it creates like a balance. And then I'll put my pants on and I'll be good for the day. Sometimes I didn't do that and I would put on my 2 underwear, 2 pair of boy shorts, some jeans, and your girl used to be suffering. You gotta do what's best for you. If you feel like that's gonna help you, then cool, but loose fit clothing is definitely the way to go. Accidents happen, they're completely normal, nothing to be embarrassed about. It's easier said than done. I know if you're out in public, especially at school, and something like that happens, you're definitely going to be embarrassed and you're going to feel like everyone's going to either bully you or judge you. But trust me, everyone's been there, and if you haven't already, I'm sure you're going to. I still have accidents to this day. They're not as bad, but like it may be like a little bit of blood that may get on my underwear or something like that. You know, it's normal, it happens. So when it comes to removing the actual blood stains, because blood stains are hard to remove, so you want to get like some cleaning spray. I like to use the OxiClean stain remover. I originally got that removed because my cat kept throwing up on my goddamn floor, so I had to, you know, get on my hands and knees and scrub the stains out, and it works really well. One night I had a really bad nosebleed, and it got all over my white sheets and my white cover. I was pissed. I had to spray that stuff on there, let it sit for a little bit, and then when you wash it, it comes right out. I tried it on a pair of my undergarments that may have had a little bit of fluid on them, and the stain came right off. Blood is hard to remove, especially when you don't have anything to fight up against it. So with that spray, you need to spray it on there, let it sit for like a few hours depending on how bad it is. Throw it in the washing machine, wash it on hot cycle so it can get all of that stuff out. And if it still didn't come out, just throw them away and use some other kind. Like I said, I usually just throw the ones out that are dirty and use some other ones, but if they're not that bad, I'll just spray them and carry on by my day. So if you have an accident on your bed or in your pants, you can definitely use that spray and it'll come right off. Cramps can be a pain in the A. Trust me, I know. So for pain relief, if you are one of the people who take medicine, I don't anymore, but I definitely did. Do not take Aleve. I think Aleve is the one that can cause blood clots, and I don't know what to do, but I know when I used to take Aleve, it used to like make my stomach burn. Like medicine shouldn't be doing that. So I stay away from Aleve. I don't take medicine at all unless I know I'm really like in really bad pain. Last month I just got my braces tightened after like a few months or so, and my mouth was like in excruciating pain. It hurt so bad, it made me want to cry. Like I did cry actually. I've never been in that pain before. So I took some Orajel and I took some Tylenol arthritis, but that didn't work. Usually it does work on my teeth, but I guess my pain tolerance just was too high for that, so I just said forget it. When I was taking medicine and when I did have really bad cramps, I don't know more. Tylenol arthritis 600 milligrams, they work, but I don't use that anymore. I am on to my natural remedies. So I want to give you guys some of the things that work for me that I've tried. So first one is pickle juice. If you got a little can of them little pickles in there, drink the pickle juice and it should help your period cramps relieve a little bit of the aching. Also coconut water. I never really tried coconut water on my cycle. After doing my research and stuff, it says that coconut water will help, so I'm actually going to try that and let you all know. My period comes in a week or so, so I'm definitely going to be trying that to see like what happens with it. And my last thing is a heating pad. They're a lifesaver, oh my gosh. What you can also do is get a bottle of water, put it on the stove, boil it, and put it on your stomach and let it sit there. Or you can go get a heating pad that you gotta plug up to the wall and just let it sit. Or get a washcloth, put it in the water, bring it out and place it. Or take a washcloth, put it in the water, put it in a Ziploc bag, and you're good to go. And my last and final tip is to get some rest, but also move around. We all know that when we're on our period, we do not feel like doing anything. We be out of it all, like you're really not feeling well, and it's completely understandable. We know like when you're not feeling well, you don't want to do too much, but you definitely want to get up and move around, because when you're just laying there, it's like causing your body to say, girl, we're gonna do what we want, you ain't do nothing about it, so we're just gonna sit here and flow and make you come in pain. But if you like, you know, just walk downstairs, do something, do a little stretch, that'll help. If you guys want an emergency period kit, let me know in the comment section below so we can create that on camera together, and I can show you all what to put in yours, what's in mine, and it'll be a really fun time. But that is all that I have for today's segment. I love you all so much, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you guys are already on your period, or if you're about to start, definitely take notes. Go back to this video whenever you feel like it's needed, just so you can know what to do when it comes for the first time, or when it comes back if you haven't already been doing these things. I love you all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.